All right, back one more time before the night is out. My helper had to go in and eat some dinner, so I got a little peace and quiet. Most people probably put their 2-year-olds to bed at 8 or 9 o'clock, but ours either stays out helping me or helping mom mop and clean up dishes and everything else, then watches TV, and she's typically the last to go to bed, so she's also the last to wake up in the morning. But on this Honda Odyssey, found out some cool things. This unit is going to be between an 81 and an 84. It's a 250, an FL250. Found some really nice replica tires. I got those ordered. Some wheel bearings. Sticker kit. The guy I got this from reached out because he's one of our faithful watchers. Said, hey, I got a seat cover and a snorkel tube for this thing, and I'll get it to you. And that is a factory snorkel tube, which was an upgrade. If you guys are following on these or have seen these, the yellow ones, again, I could be off a little bit just in my little research. I purposely never research these too much because, in case you guys haven't caught on yet, if there's something that I want, I usually track it down and get it, and I really put these things off. It wasn't a bad memory wrecking with my dad. Oh, that was one thing. This one did take a spill at one time. Little damage right there. But it's crazy how original this is. And again, having a little spill with my dad gave us something to talk about. I actually brought that up when I had to speak at his funeral, that I was the one that broke the only bone I think he ever broke in his body. But he wasn't mad at me. He was trying to protect me. I was the kid, and he was protecting me. But 77 to 1980 were yellow. They're air-cooled motors. They did overheat a lot. 81 to 84 was like this, and then 85 was the FL250 for 1 year only. Another crazy thing, since bringing this home and my neighbor seeing it, he's already located me a 350. So we'll be 2 of these that we'll have in the next video. And that was really cool because it's white. And 250 and 350, 2 strokes. And a lot of people, what this brings back to my memory is also why a lot of people are buying square body trucks and other things like that. This is from my past. This is something that I always wanted. I put off getting it just because. I don't know why. But square body truck, same way. People are buying them. It's no different than a 250R, 250R TRX. Why are they bringing $10,000 and $15,000? Well, people had them or wanted them when they were kids. Now they can afford them. I have an 88 250R that I bought in like 93 when it was still basically brand new. And it's still basically brand new. I did race it for a few years in the AMA classes and crashed and broke my collarbone. Retired from that, put the bike away. It's sat ever since. Brought it out, did a little refresh. I'll bring a video at some point about it because I'm pretty proud of that bike. It was one of my first big purchases, and 88 250R. But back to this. Got cables ordered because the cables are frozen. No brakes, no throttle. This right here is factory. And how that mesh rope net is still there after all these years is crazy to me. It's actually got a little flip lever right here where it comes out. Park and brake, pull start. Did find out the transmission is locked up. It will not move. Pumped up the tires. That failed. It has an adjustable seat. I kind of remember that, sliding it forward, because I think I jumped on the one just before me and my dad went for a ride. And again, that's the only time I rode one of these. That's the crazy thing. That was in 83, 84, 85. Somewhere in that range would have put me at, 6, 7 years old, roughly. 8 years old, maybe. So I remember sliding the seat forward. And then my dad saying, no. My uncle was going to let me go. Cool uncle. Didn't really let me jump on his brand new toy. He trusted me with it. But my dad said no. So we slid the seat back. So I feel like I remember that seat adjuster pretty well. But it still works. I lubed it up. That works pretty good. I also got under it looking for the year and the VIN number, which I'm going to find. But this thing's actually got a frame like a car. It's got a C-channel frame. Now, it's got some surface rust, but overall, it's in great shape. That would have been something that definitely rotted out because that C-channel would have kept dirt in there. Got ready to get on YouTube and do some stuff. I'm sure I'll go down a rabbit hole on that. The light is factory, like I figured. But there was several other little things about the air-cooled motors. They did some things to make them a little bit more for running through water. The transmissions would get wet, slip the belt, obviously like a side-by-side of today. There's your centrifugal belt and your centrifugal clutch. Hardly any different than what Polaris still uses today, other than it's sealed in a box. That's really about the only difference. That thing is really original, really solid, even got the little mud flaps. That would have been the first thing I probably took off as a kid. They're stamped Honda in their factory. I found one crack in the plastic. This thing's gonna be pretty cool. We'll get it on all 4 tires, try to get the transmission unlocked. I'm pretty sure I can make the motor run, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and yank it off and rebuild it just so it's fresh. It does have gas in there, even the right gas cap. That's the factory gas cap, showing that you have to mix the gas. And around here, we mix everything with race gas so it doesn't lose its, or doesn't gel as bad. So a couple wires have been tapped into and changed for some odd reason. But that net right there, that net signified one of the years. The belts, there's some significance about the seat belt system. Suspension, it's got a couple little coil springs up front. We'll do some more research this evening though, but got a couple little drains right there I found when I was underneath to drain all the dirt out. We'll let that dry out and we'll hit that thing with a pressure washer. But the stickers are gonna be cool. The new tires will be cool. Getting the motor and transmission apart. Maybe I'll take the time to see if I can get it running just for pet peeveness, because it doesn't look like this thing has had a lot of use. The more I look at it, the more original it looks, which to me is really cool. Being a 2-stroke, I don't know why they didn't make a exhaust system for these. I guess they weren't out long enough. Again, it's kind of crazy. The Pilot is what replaced these. The Honda Pilot, which was a huge upgrade to this thing. Even the 85 model, I'm excited to get that 350. I hope that deal works out. But that 350 will decimate this one as far as components and quality. But it was only 1 year. It was pretty wild why they did that. Even the 250R made a longer run than that. And that all of these were built when Honda and the 3-wheelers and the lawsuits and all that crazy stuff was happening. But this should have been pretty safe. These were definitely the predecessors to the big side-by-sides of today, which, if you guys know, we do a ton of things with these. Daniel and Brian, the off-road shop, build them, modify them. This thing right here is pretty nasty. Tuned, turbo upgrade, the exhaust, clutch kit. I told Daniel to go all in on it, and I did not lift it real big like the other big crazy one over here. That's the one that sees the mud and the dirt. But I wanted it to be fast. That thing is incredibly fast. We cut some donuts. I'll bring you guys a video of that for one of our videos that never got produced. But turbo, I think this is like an 18 or 19 model, but I told him to go all in with the stuff, and we did. And it is wicked fast. So I'm sure if these would have stayed out, they would have made some modifications for these as well. But I guess, like I said, times changed and everything went to different scenarios. But kind of interested in that. I've rebuilt my 250R several times. Pull that jug off. It's not much to a 2-stroke. Real simple. Not much to it. Carburetor's going to need a cleaning and replacing probably. But knowing these, it probably had non-ethanol fuel in it, or fuel from the days where it wasn't as garbage as it is today. That right there supposedly still being there because it's plastic and it's brittle. It's pretty incredible. So that's pretty neat. Again, the originality of this thing is really growing on me. Pretty impressed. So FL250, 81 to 84 is what we know so far. We'll do a little more digging and get this thing stripped apart. Probably not tonight. Got some honeydew stuff I got to get knocked out, but we'll get back to it tomorrow, the next day, since it's going to be raining. And can't work on the treehouse. Some updates on that to come too. Going solar. Spoiler alert. Got all the stuff to do it, and we'll get that in place. And I think I'm going to put the Sherp there and work off the roof of it. Just the right height. Stay tuned, guys. Good night. See you tomorrow.